Not if we're doing it from here.
Okay. We can't actually sign in, we're just gonna practice, but.
You don't have the PowerPoint then?
Yeah, I do. It's in there. You can do the PowerPoint, but I won't be able to do it like we're really doing it. I'm gonna grab a chair. We'll be back to normal again by today. Oh well. We've had it worse in here.
We have.
Oh, Denise and I went and put up some of those things on the back of the board out there. It looks good, so I'm just gonna pitch the rest of them. So we could leave it better oriented. So the slide deck, you probably know where it is, but I'm just gonna tell
No
you.
idea where it is.
It's in coronavirus folder, town halls. I haven't booked us a Teams, like Microsoft run through. I'm just doing it, practicing, unless you want me to send you a thing. I left my phone at home. I know. You feel like you.
No, Ella bugging you throughout the day.
No, Ella bugging me. So it's in coronavirus. I don't know if she's got a shortcut. If not, it's in emergency. Community. October 21st, and then it should say slide deck, town hall. Okay, placeholder slide live 5 minutes before, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a placeholder. Janice and Q. Noon, Janice live. And then the first slide is in the queue, so that's the shovels in the ground slide. And then I'll just read her notes. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining for another town hall. I'm Janice Scott, always proud to be your CEO. To say there's been a lot happening in RVH is an understatement. Last week, click slide and next slide. Where's the mouse again?
Now we're ready.
Do I even need to be up here
Sorry?
on this? Because I guess I won't be able to hear. Oh, I will be able to hear, right?
I don't know what you're asking me.
So I don't need to be over here on this, do I?
Well,
like
if you
we-
want to just have the speaker on so that you can hear, then sure, yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna be using the headset then, so we can't hear, right? Is that what you're
I
saying?
wouldn't be using the headset at all because I'm not meant to speak or be on camera.
So, can you have that sound on so I can hear and just sit beside you?
No, because there's no speaker.
Oh, she doesn't have speakers. Oh, okay. Yes, I do need to
All
hear.
right, I am on the beginning slide. slide.
Okay, slide up. 5 minutes before, it's noon, Janice live. First slide in queue, ground and shovel slide. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me for the town hall. Just lost my pen.
She's not talking for a bit and then
Yes,
I put the
yeah, that's
presentation
just in queue. Slide in queue.
up. So then there is the beginning slide, Janice in queue,
Yep.
Janice live,
Yep.
then Janice with presentation in queue. Okay.
Okay. Okay, noon, Janice live. Janice in presentation in queue. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me for another town hall. I'm Janice Scott, always proud to be your president and CEO. To say there's been a lot happening at RVH is an understatement. Janice in presentation live. Last week we made the long-awaited announcement, so then now just her is in queue. So do you want me to tell her Janice full screen in queue after this? Cause she only does one slide and then she goes back.
Just say Janice with presentation live.
Okay, but then that's the only slide she does for like another 5-10 minutes. So she has to come back up live.
You just tell me when you want her back full screen.
Okay.
Just say Janice full screen.
Okay. Alright, so Janice in presentation live. Last week we made a long-awaited announcement, yada yada. Currently operate a bunch of out clinics. Janice full screen. Ben in queue.
Ben in queue.
While we finalize, yada yada. Today I'm joined by Ben live,
Ben
Dave
live,
in queue,
Dave in queue,
Dave live,
Dave live,
Daryl in queue,
Daryl in queue.
Daryl live, Janice in queue, Janice live, and now we have Janice in presentation in queue. And that will be the map slide that will be next. Let's begin with Ben. What an exciting day. So she's not up yet, she's live, full screen, by herself, and then Janice in presentation, map slide in queue. Let's begin with Ben. She goes all the way down to, we've been working towards this for more than 3 years, it's so exciting. And then I have map slide live, so I just say presentation live. Okay, so now she's there talking about this. Janice full screen in queue. The location is unanimously, she's only got two sentences. This includes dozens of user groups, blah, 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 blah. Thank you for your invaluable input, which informed every step of our planning. Janice live, full screen, Ben in queue. But the announcement is really the beginning of a long journey. Ben, can you tell us more about the future of the South Campus and how it fits with our one system, two site graduated model? So this is where I really have to listen to Ben because I don't have his notes. So let's put Ben live, full screen.
And have the presentation
Full
at
screen.
the 1 year
Full screen, and then
in the queue. Presentation with the
yeah,
arrow.
presentation with the arrow in the queue. Now, can it just come up? Can we change that slide so it just comes up all at once? So it's not multiple clicks? Like, can we group it?
Do you want it like that before it goes live?
Yeah, I think so, cause it'll throw them off.
Okay.
So we'll do that. So we have Ben live, full screen, Ben in presentation in queue. Okay? Ben in presentation live. So the first one is the arrow slide. Then I have to wait till he says, and at the North Slide campus, and then I just say next slide.
Okay.
North Campus slide live. And then he's gonna blab on, and I don't know what he's gonna say, and then as soon as he says South Campus, next slide, Denise. Janice full screen in queue. When Ben finishes up, Janice live. Ben in queue again. What's the timeline for construction? What are the next steps? Ben live, presentation in queue, Ben in presentation in queue. And that's the dots. So as soon as he says the pre-capital submission and then presentation live, he'll talk through all these stages. Once he's done, while this is live, Janice is in queue, full screen. When he's done, Janice live. She'll do the introduction, and then we're on to Dave. And there's no more slide changes until the patient letter, and that's it. Okay, so I'll just put my new words in here, and if we can just make that one slide, just one click, that arrow slide. So he has it. That would be super fantastic.
Cool.
So I'll just stand here, because unless you want me to do the table, it doesn't
You
really
just
matter.
have to have the sound on.
Yeah. So as long as that's not going to bug you if the sound's coming from behind or anything. Okay.
I don't see why it would.
Okay. So I'll make these notes, and that's it. And then we clean up and go ahead. I gotta go measure too sometime. Thank you, Denise.
totally that way. It totally shouldn't be.
I love egg salad. Hey, if we can live through Joe's Fish Tuesdays, we can live through your egg salad. Right, Joe? Hey, saying. Sometimes it's stinky.
But tasty.
And tasty. Your speakers are muted. How do I unmute?
It's the top part right there.
So they can hear me, but I don't have my mask on, sorry.
That's.
I just need to hear it. I'm actually going to sit with my back towards this.
Oh, that's just yes.
So let's see. Do I need it a bit?
You just needed it. There you go.
And to make it bigger, you just
Put that. Put it once, and then drag it.
drag
The BOD stuff. You doing quotes again, or just fill it with?
Pardon?
You putting quotes on?
No.
There?
I think I'm going to put so no room on there. Right?
Yeah,
There's no
no.
room on there. I'm just wondering, should I pull down the other one or just leave it? Because it's 2021, 2020.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's just a bigger spot. Can you put another one there?
It's only used it. It's like that corner. I realized it was something to make these quotes that go over the issue.
I know.
I was drawing Carol here.
No, we keep moving.
No.
I know. Okay. We'll go pull it down regardless. It's all good. Okay. Daryl's there. Hi, Daryl. Daryl's there, but I'll put the thing on the door. Kimberly, she's having a really, really, really bad day. I told her to go curl up in bed for a while. Hi, Daryl.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Denise is just gonna check you out to see if you should be a bit closer so we can see more of you.
Well, I can get as
Oh.
close as you
Oh,
like.
no, that's perfect. I just want to see your nose and the whites of your eyes. That's good. Is that too close? Oh, Denise
I
isn't
can
in.
get wherever you get. I'll probably end up sitting something like this.
Okay. Yeah. Excellent. That good?
I think you look perfect.
Look at the
Yeah,
beard.
no changes.
What's
That's
going
a
with the
stretch.
facial hair?
It's getting cold out.
Oh, it's Grizzly Adams now. Okay.
All right.
Nobody but you and I
Lazy.
know that reference because everyone else is young.
Hey, listen, I got a trivia question for you. This is an oldie but goldie too. Muskrat Love. Who sings it?
Captain and Tennille. Boop boop.
Oh, see, you nailed it. Nailed it.
Where are they now? Are they still married?
I don't think one of them's around.
Oh, that's
Maybe.
sad.
Maybe? Oh, that's another trivia question.
I would have guessed Jimmy Buffett. I have no idea what he sings, but I know he thinks something.
It's just good that you know he sings. Margaritaville.
Oh, there we go. I know that one.
Hi, Dave.
Cheeseburger. Something.
Cheeseburger.
Something about cheeseburgers, yeah.
Cheeseburgers.
They had a big festival in Florida every year. Is cheeseburger and no shoes weekend or something. I don't know.
Wow. I'll go for the no shoes, but. Okay, Dave, we're gonna do a mouse check. We're gonna do a mic check. Can you just speak?
I can speak.
Thank
How you doing?
Good. How's he framed? Good? Yeah,
That's
Denise
good, yeah.
says you're framed good. I see that Ben's on. I can't see him here, but can we do a sound check with you, Ben?
Hello, Dolly.
Well, hello, Dolly.
I guess that means yes, right?
Yes.
We're good. Let me get the background. There it is.
There we go. Okay.
Donnie,
Ben,
do
are
you
those
mind-
slides okay?
Yeah, they were good.
Do you mind turning your camera?
I'm ready.
Okay. Are
Oh,
you-
sorry, Daryl. I get slides.
Are you on, you can speak to them now so I can go off, I can be
Nice
mute now?
preferential treatment.
I'm muted. I figured you were speaking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay, and then I'll,
bent the rules
mute and
a little
come
bit.
sit with you.
But how are you going to depict a building to be built without? You want to describe it or you want to see it? Pretty good.
All right, you win.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure we shouldn't go visit him after work.
Okay, gotta get the script up.
Yeah.
He basically said, no go, you don't deserve that, you don't deserve that.
Had nothing but problems with Teams this morning. Oh my God.
We'll see how she is.
Command center meeting tanked out on me.
So because there's a lot of slide changing, just gonna need you to let me know what's going on.
What is he saying, you're changing slides?
No, I'm saying because there's a lot of slide
Oh,
changes,
yeah, yeah,
I need you to make sure that you're on.
Yeah, I'll be on it. Is Janice there yet? No.
I didn't see her just yet. What time is it?
10 to 11.
Okay, we got enough time. Are
Yeah.
you on mute?
Yep. Yep. Most of the slides are gonna be with Ben.
When did he send her that?
I think just before huddle, because I said to her, Kimberly, I said, you must huddle. Are you okay? And she said no. So I called her. Like her nose is.
Her lawyer will make it happen.
I know. I said, don't worry. I said, Denise and I will support you. She goes, I don't want to fight. I said, you have to fight. This is now, you know. I said,
You don't go away until you get food.
yeah. I said, you take the day, go hot bath, do whatever you need to do, cry your face off because you are grieving. It's cool. And then Monday, we're putting on the armor and we're Joan of Arcing him. So,
Well, what's the next step?
I'm gonna call her in an hour, and she needs to send that email and instructions to her lawyer that no more. I said, no more talking to him now. It's lawyer to
It's
lawyer.
this or nothing.
Yeah, and I said, you stop looking at that email because I know you're looking at it, and you're reading it, and you're reading it, and you're reading it, and you're picking that scab, and you need to stop.
Yeah, he probably wrote that because he knew.
I've never met anyone like that before in my life.
I have.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Met many people.
I've never met anyone so horrible to someone they said they loved. And like, you're my forever girl, you're everything to me. Lavished her like she was, you know. People are
Not nice sometimes.
The thing with Kimberly is this is the second time, right? Her first husband screwed on around on her more than once, destroyed her trust, and now this one's done it. I just said to her, she goes, will I find love again? I said, Kimberly, she goes, I want what I had with Jill.
Who wants
I said,
that,
what
though?
you
You don't
had?
need to have a fulfilling life.
No,
In
first of all,
you don't have to be in love to have a fulfilling life.
right, and I said, first of all, Kimberly, what you had with Jill, you're
Was
now
not real.
realizing was not real. I said, I've been married 30 years, and I can tell you that maybe once a year there's romance and excitement like that, but the day-to-day stuff is cutting the lawn, emptying the dishwasher, all those things, right? I said, you gotta temper what is real love and what is, you know, real love is being there all the time, you know what I mean? Through everything, not just trips. And I said, it's interesting that as soon as your trip stopped because of COVID, he was
That's
out.
when he was out.
So was it both those two then?
She's on the phone. She's been on the phone for like 5 minutes.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Janice.
Hi, how are you?
Good. We're just doing a sound check, so you sound good. If you just want to say hi to Denise.
Hello.
Hi, Denise. Always like to
I'm
say
in the
hi to Denise.
background.
She's in the background, but she says you look great. Everyone looks great. Perfect. We got a couple minutes, so make sure you have water. Again, just to remind everyone to mute yourselves, but keep your cameras on, and then unmute when Janice asks your question. And just to remind you again, when she does introduce each of you, we're going to do a rapid fire just to you. So just like Suzanne likes to say, your camera's hot, so you're always on. So don't be doing something you don't want the whole world to see. Mostly I'm just talking to Daryl, but anyway, so we're going to go through the introductions, and we'll flip quickly through all of you so you can wave or just nod or thumbs up or whatever you want to do. You don't have to say anything. It's just so people can get a look at you before we start the town hall. There's a couple slides that we'll be doing this time, something different. So Janice has 2 slides that will come up, and Janice, you don't have to worry about it. It'll be just like the community listening session. They'll still see a little bit of you and the slide, and same with Ben for your slides.
Keep going.
So just keep talking, yeah, in between. There might be a little bit of a lag as we flip people over, but just keep talking. Like when you get your question, just start answering, and we'll flip you up. I think that's mostly all you guys need to know.
Yep. Just make sure that any notification sounds are.
Sorry, everybody. I just had a call I had to take, but and just Donna, I sorry I couldn't listen to you, but
That's
just reminder: everybody has their Outlook off and their phones.
That was my next thing. Yeah, shut everything off that you may interrupt the town hall. But other than that, I think, Suzanne, I've given them all the lowdown. If you have anything else you'd like to add.
Thank you. No, I'm sure you handled it beautifully. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll start the same way we always do. We'll put the slide up, and then Janice can start a couple of seconds after me.
So Denise has just reminded me to let you know that the town hall slide will go up about, I don't know, a minute or so before 12, and at that point we'll be live. So everyone, make sure again you're muted and your cameras are on, and then Janice, as soon as you start speaking, we'll put you to live. You'll be our cue. Any
Thank
questions?
And I would just, the only thing I would add is just Daryl, Dave, and Ben, you all have virtual backgrounds, so try to limit your movement.
Okay, I'm gonna disappear, but we're not gone. We're in the background making sure everything is magical.
Thanks, Donna.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good show, everybody. Thank you. It's a really big show. Ed Sullivan, Data myself. Really big shoe, really big shoe. All right. Show.
You can go check on it. You'll only leave at like 3 o'clock.
Mm.
We can do that. No problem. Do you want me to tell them when the mic is? You said a minute before.
It's 5 minutes too.
Yeah, but you said a minute before you push it to live,
Mhm.
so we're gonna wait till 12:15.
11:59, somewhere around there. I don't know. Where's your clock on here? Oh, yeah, 11:59. So just tell them another minute. Do you want me to tell them?
Just say in a minute we're gonna go live.
Okay. Hey team, in a minute we're going to go live. Oh, no, no, no. There was a pre-app, but I don't know what it said. Oh, it said she had nothing, she had no, it's 11:58. She had no entitlement to go after his businesses, just personal. I think so, but her lawyer thinks they can break that pre-app, so. Send it to live. Placeholders live. Janice and Q.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me for another town hall. I'm Janice Scott, always proud to be your president and CEO. To say there's been a lot happening at RVH lately is an understatement. Last week we made the long-awaited announcement about the location for our South Campus. It'll be built on an 83-acre site at the southwest corner of Yonge Street and Innisfil Beach Road. Centrally located, the property is adjacent to the Innisfil Civic Campus and the Rosario Health and Wellness Center, where RVH currently operates a variety of outpatient clinics. And while we were finalizing the details of that site announcement, we were continuing our implementation of Care for the Meditech Expanse project. And while there have been bright lights of improved functionality and adoption, for example, the pediatricians have reported seeing tremendous benefits to the system, I would not be transparent nor honest if I didn't also recognize that the implementation of Care for has been really tough on Team RVH. Whether you practice or work in the ED, where you have transitioned from a primarily paper-based system to electronic order entry, all while caring for patients during some of the highest volumes we have seen in a while, or you're a surgeon or a nurse in the OR and preference cards aren't not yet available, or you're trying to send orders to a patient in the ED and the system requires to repeat the process frequently, or a pathologist adapting to a new dictation system, I know many of you are struggling with workflows, accessing information, and documentation. I could list more examples of challenges as we meet people in the health center. So I stop to have a chat and I always ask, how's it going with Care for? And I'm chatting with talented, hardworking people, team players, they're not prone to complaining. So I, first of all, really appreciate the honest answers to my questions, but certainly I can take the pulse of the organization. I know they're frustrated. So let me begin by apologizing for the strain this has placed on you and placed on the organization. Our plan, developed over almost 2 years, was to fortify our relationship with 3 other hospitals by introducing a state-of-the-art, tried and true electronic health record to improve safety. And once through implementation and stabilization and optimization, we want to enhance your work experience, retain and recruit health professionals. So we're in the thick of it now, and we can't go back. But I can assure you that we're fully committed to making Care Forward the best in Canada. So I want to thank you, everyone, all of you, for your patience, for your perseverance with the new system. The degree of change associated with this transition cannot be underestimated. This is a very unsettled time, but please know, safety is our highest priority. In fact, as we all know, it's in our mission. Safety is our promise, and we are committed to providing you with the support and the solutions you need. And we're going to learn more about the implementation later in our town hall. So those big projects were executed against a backdrop of the pandemic's fourth wave, in which Team RVH continued to skillfully and compassionately care for patients from across the region. To further protect those patients and the people who care for them, I am so proud to say that more than 99% of our team are now vaccinated against COVID-19. 99%. So thank you all very much. And there's a lot to talk about today, so let's get started.
Ben live.
Today I'm joined by Ben Peterson, RVH's Executive Vice President, Corporate Services and Chief Financial Officer, and the Care For Executive Sponsor. Dave Bruin, the Regional Chief Information Officer, and Daryl Sewell, Vice President, Facilities and Chief Human Resources Officer. Sorry, Daryl. So let's begin with Ben. Well, Ben, what an exciting day we had last Wednesday when we gathered to announce the location for the RVH South Campus. I want to start really by recognizing your leadership on our so-called MP2 project. It's been a lot of work and a lot of hard work on everyone's part, but certainly on yours, Ben. So thank you so very much. Now, we've been working towards this for more than 3 years, so it's so exciting to see it move forward. In fact, maybe you've seen that I got a little emotional when we announced the site. Perhaps my bladder is close to my eyes, but you know, this location was unanimously endorsed by RVH's Board of Directors. It followed a transparent and a comprehensive search process, an unprecedented community consultation, also led by Suzanne Legui and her team, with more than 30,000 engagement interactions. This team includes dozens of user group sessions with members of Team RVH. So many people were consulted, and we want to thank all of you, Team RVH, for your invaluable input, which really has informed every step of our planning. But the announcement is really just the beginning of a long journey. So Ben, can you tell us more about the future South Campus, how it fits in with our one system and two site graduated model?
Great, thanks, Janice. And the first slide up there. So I first want to link this to the MP2 work that we've had. And Donna, do you have that slide? I don't see it up. Is it up? It is? Okay, I'll see what's up. I don't see it. You've seen this chart many times, as it shows a decision that we made very early in our process to develop a one system, two site graduated model. The master plan called for the development of the North Campus here at Georgian Drive and a new South Campus in Innisfil. So it starts with the RVH Health and Wellness Clinic at the Rizzardo Center, which we put in place about a little more than 2 years now. And then we redeveloped the North Campus, which is going to double in size, and also build a new South Campus Health Hub within 10 years. We're going to then further develop the South Campus for post-acute inpatient beds, the 15-year mark is what's being planned, and then a full hospital at 20 years. Next slide.
Click North Campus.
Just to pause there. It's just to remind everyone, we envisioned when we looked at the North Campus, we're going to build a 9-story tower within 10 years, doubling the size of RVH, which is amazing. We've also had plan, and we do have in our plans, a pre-tower phase. That's going to allow us to develop new ICU beds, inpatient beds, dialysis, mental health and imaging within a 6-year period of time. If we're granted that opportunity by the Ministry of Health. Next slide.
South Campus.
When we look at the South Campus, so this is a generic plan that we used to depict the development as we went through our process. Now that we have a specific site, we're going to customize this perspective, and it'll just get more and more interesting. So if you look at phase one is just going to call for the ambulatory care, outpatient clinics, and urgent care center. It's kind of in the very light whitish portion of that drawing. We then go to that phase 2, post-acute, which includes inpatient units that are not dependent on an ED, seniors care and rehab, those type of beds, and that's kind of on the, call it the taupe color on the right. And then a full service hospital, which will have additional inpatient units, surgical suites, and we'll redevelop the urgent care center into a 24/7 emerge department. So very, very exciting.
Janice Live,
Thanks, Ben.
Ben in queue.
We always have to manage expectations, because I think sometimes when we turn soil with a little shovel and people are really hoping we're going to be building the next day. So what are the timelines for construction and what are the next steps?
He's going to talk first and then we'll
Great.
get it up.
So let's just put up the next slide.
Then
Do I send him live?
Yep. Ben in presentation in queue.
Got it up there?
Oh God.
I'm not seeing it yet. Thank you. So to answer that question, Janice, we got to go back to the MP2 submission that we strategically submitted by combining both the North and South campus. You've seen this slide before in our presentations, and what it does, it shows all of the capital projects in the province. They have to follow this process. It's the seven stages to Nirvana, I like to call it. In January 2020, just before COVID, we submitted our pre-cap submission to the Ministry of Health, received and answered all questions during the summer of 2020, and we wait their approval to move to stage 1. In terms of approval, stage 1 and stage 2 are crucial. We're already working on stage 1 submission in anticipation of approval of our pre-cap. And then you then move to stage 2, which is a detailed functional program. And at the end of stage 2, the province financially commits to the project. I call that's when they absolutely put all of their money on the table, and we've got approval. So in terms of timelines, it's always, the other phases are once that approval are, then you're into design, working drawings, it's all the fun stuff, quite frankly. That's a building phase. In terms of timelines, it depends on the size of the project. From a provincial perspective, the need of the project, in our case, we've got an exploding population, maximum occupancy at the North Campus. So, that's part of our business case. But I also have to recognize that we're being prioritized against other projects in the province, as well as our own region. So our combined request is somewhere in the dollar figure of about $2.5 billion. Yes, I said billion. So the decision-making associated with this project is going to hit the highest levels of government. And realistically, it's going to take a few years for us to get that goal of building both the North and South Campus within 10 years. But we got a plan. And once we got a plan, we work that plan really well. In the meantime, we're going to develop, you can take that slide down now. In the meantime, we're going to continue to develop things such as the pre-cap for the renal program at Wellington. We took that out, so we know the Wellington program needs redevelopment. We've also working on the 15 critical care beds in the Sheldon space on the 3rd floor, and then full utilization of the space on Rest 2. So those works are in the works, and we're not waiting for the 10 years. Those are things we're going to be doing this year. I'll pause there, Janice.
Thanks a lot, Ben. Really appreciate that overview. And it is important to note that we have begun site-specific community engagement. So I mentioned the 30,000 interactions before we chose the site. Last week, we held a consultation session with our Indigenous partners and environmental groups, along with a community listening session. And we also would like your input onto the site. So if you could take a moment or two to complete the survey on our website, it's rvhplanourfuture.ca. You can also watch the new video outlining our plan. So Ben, thank you for all your work as the executive sponsor of our next topic now. We're moving on to Care 4. It was a huge clinical transformation project, and it's in partnership, as you know, between RVH, Collingwood General Marine, Georgian Bay General, and Headwaters in Orangeville. So much training and planning went into this project, almost 2 years worth. We went live September 19th, and we must recognize as well that was a day later than we had planned due to an interface challenge with a supporting system. So welcome, Dave Bruin. We've been having a very busy 2 years, and well, since you arrived here, which isn't quite 2 years, but certainly the last few months. Care 4 is a massive, complex project that changes almost every workflow and process. We're now more than a month into Expand, so from Dave, from your perspective, how do you think things are going?
Dave Live, Janice and Q.
Thanks, Janice. Care4 is a massive, complex project indeed. And Janice, you articulated very well on how it's going in your introduction. The transformation to Expanse has really tested Team RVH each day. And while it's been really incredible to observe all of your resilience and that all of our teams have, it's been a very hard 4.5 weeks for those in the front lines, on our leadership teams and the project support teams. I know it's been a lot of work and stress leading up to the go live and in the time since go live, and I wanted to express my thanks for all the time you're putting in to learn the new Expanse system, helping your colleagues with their learning, and defining the areas that require improvement. Through this project, we've indeed changed pretty much every workflow and process at RVH and our 3 partner sites. It's resulted in a lot of change to learn for our front lines and resulted in system challenges that we were not fully accounting for. We've had and continue to work through key workflows like order entry for physician, transfer of patients, referrals, trackers, and documentation. And the team, myself, worked tirelessly with our clinical leadership teams to ensure that the system improves on a daily basis. The goal here is to get this right. I'm dedicated, our Care4 team's dedicated, the clinical leadership teams are dedicated to ensure that we support our clinicians through this change.
Thanks very much, Dave. So you have been, and we've all been working. I really want to give a shout out to all of our leaders who work daily to try and, first of all, identify the concerns, get them categorized, prioritize them, and then obviously work on solutions. So we're moving through different phases of this project, and I think everyone's quite interested to know, Dave, on how ongoing concerns and challenges will be addressed for the end users.
Dave Live?
Yeah, thanks, Janice. With the size and change and complexity and the complexity of our organization, there's many items that our staff and providers have defined as needing to be changed in the system to ensure safe and efficient care can be provided. Since go live, we've been capturing requests and issues from all of you through your interaction with the super users that were the folks in the blue vests and your calls to the help desk. We've actually captured over 3,000 requests to date. And we can't address each of those requests all at the same time. So as Janice said, these requests are actively being managed. They're prioritized by RVH leaders and resolved in collaboration with the Care4 team. Just to give an example, it was recognized that we had a number of issues coming from the ED who are going through this change while experiencing much higher patient volumes than normal. So we mobilized a multidisciplinary team. We're able to work through nearly 60 issues over the past 2.5 weeks, and they're continuing to resolve more. A similar approach to this, pulling a team together like this has begun in medicine and ICU. We've worked through, outside of the things that super users addressed right at the elbow, we've worked through over 1,000 issues since go live, and we're keen to keep methodically working with you to get through these issues. If you have a problem with Expanse, please first ask a colleague for help, of course. But if you need further help and or you have an idea for improvement or there's an issue with the system, please call your normal IT extension, which is the 45,000, and you'll dial 1 for Expanse help, and someone will be on that line to assist you. In addition, of course, to calling for help, our team in the blue vest still round through the hospital, and if help is needed from a physician, we still also have the physician super users available 24/7 to assist.
Thanks very much, Dave. We really appreciate that, and we appreciate your team's focus. I know that the Care4 team is also working very hard to address the challenges and ensuring employees and credentialed staff get the support they need. It's hard we have to get through stabilization, optimizing the project that we've just implemented, but were there a few points you'd like to make on what's next for the Care4 project?
Dave Live, Janice.
It's a short answer, Janice. We have to get this right. That's the what's next. We have to look at what's right in front of us here and make sure we get this right. We have to get to a point where our front lines, physicians, clinicians are settled with the new system and workflows. I'm committed, my team's committed. I know the clinical leadership and provider leadership across RVH is committed to ensure we keep moving ahead, solving these issues for our clinicians and leaders until we're settled with a safe and effective expense system.
Thanks, Dave. And we like to characterize RVH as a values-driven organization. And some days it's easier than other days to really live those values. But they are so important when we're in really difficult times together that we really do focus on our ability to work together and to respect everyone. We're thinking big. I think this project, I know it's going to get better. We want you to care for each other, of course, and own it. And of course, that means that each and every one of us has to own this project and make sure we can make it better. So I just have to ask you to dig down deeper and to remember those values in these discussions so that we will move through this and we will come out the other end with a much better health information system. I have no doubt, but how we build those relationships or potentially destroy them as we're working through this process will actually define RVH of the future. And I know the definition we all want is to still be that cultures-driven organization, that values-driven organization. So please try to remember those values each and every day as we work through this process together. Thanks very much, Dave. So it's hard to imagine, but we are now in month 20 of the pandemic. I don't know about your life, but I think, was that pre-pandemic or during the pandemic? It just seems to be how our life is being categorized. On a serious note, within our health center, of course, again, acknowledging it's exhausting, it's grueling, and it's been really tough for all of you. So throughout the pandemic, safety has been our highest priority, and it really is our North Star. That's why RVH, along with the majority of other hospitals throughout Ontario, introduced a mandatory COVID-19 vaccination policy for employees, credentialed staff, students, volunteers, in fact, anyone who does business at the health center. Please remember, from the late August of 2021, our vaccine policy was unanimously endorsed by our senior leadership team, our medical advisory committee, and finally it was approved by our board of directors. And we are so pleased to note that there are very few employees or professional staff who are not fully vaccinated. But very few is not enough. We didn't want to lose any of our valued employees or physicians as we battle this pandemic, amid which it's already a health human resources shortage. But we do need to balance that with our commitment to safety. RVH's goal is to be able to say to our patients, and I quote, RVH has done everything possible to protect you from COVID-19, and every member of your care team is vaccinated, and those who support the care team. So welcome, Daryl. Can you share a status update, including what the consequences are for those who choose to remain unvaccinated?
Daryl Live, Janice and Q.
Thanks very much, Janice, and good afternoon, everyone. As you said, Janice, the goal throughout this campaign has always been and continues to be 100% fully vaccinated Team RVH. And you stated earlier, we've reached that greater than 99%. In fact, we are pleased to say that as of noon yesterday, Team RVH reached 99.14% of our active employees and credentialed staff have both, or in a very small number of cases, 27 individuals to be precise, have one dose of the vaccine at this time. This is a significant accomplishment, and we really should celebrate this, given this is one of the highest vaccination rates in the province, at least according to my sources anyway. It is important to state that while we have been striving for 100% fully vaccinated workforce, it was also our goal to do everything we could to support members of Team RVH to become fully vaccinated so that we did not lose even one valued member of our team. Now, unfortunately, following very extensive and multiple forms of communication with individuals, as well as a progressive discipline process, including a last chance attestation agreements, a small number of staff have left RVH's employ for failure to comply with the regular antigen testing requirements under Directive 6, as well as a few additional individuals are pending review at this time. And similarly, following a lot of communication as well as progressive discipline, including last chance agreements in this case as well. At this time, there are an additional number of staff that may be leaving RVH no later than October 31st for failure to become double dosed or fully vaccinated by October 31st under RVH's mandatory vaccination policy. I can share with you, however, that generally these exits are proportionally spread across the organization's units and departments, worker classifications, and work status, with the majority of individuals in part-time and casual positions. Hence, no department or area will be substantially impacted.
Janice Live, Daryl.
Thanks very much, Daryl. It's been really tough, obviously on the credential staff and the employees who are struggling with their decision making, but also really tough on your team, Daryl, who've been working through this with all of the leaders in the organization. As you say, I've observed this process being incredibly fair, and even those last opportunities to maybe make a different choice. But in the end, safety is our promise. So what are we going to say to our new staff and physicians who are joining RVH, Daryl?
Live, Janice and Q.
Yeah, this is a really, really important point, Janice. RVH will only be bringing on new employees and physicians that are fully vaccinated prior to their first day of work orientation. So as an example, the recent group of 83 new employees attending general orientation were all confirmed as being fully vaccinated. It's also my understanding that this policy has been adopted by all of our regional peer hospitals as well as hospitals across the province. So we're in good standing with others.
Janice Live.
So we're really moving through a transition period where this is going to become just a normal course of recruitment and retention. So given the existing health human resources market shortage, I mean, everyone's talking about this in terms of health human resources shortages. And of course, people in our health center are working this, so they're very concerned. What strategies does RVH have to put in place to mitigate against the shortages we're experiencing?
Daryl Live, Janice and Q.
Yeah, no question, Janice. This is certainly a very competitive marketplace for top health human resources talent at this time. Fortunately for RVH, the human resources team, in collaboration with our leaders, have continued to have great success attracting talent at RVH, as evidenced by the 83 new hires that we welcomed on October 5th, including a very successful nursing virtual career fair where 36 nurses, broken down into 25 RNs and 11 RPNs, were hired. We will always continue to look for staff, including new and innovative ways to not just look for, but retain our staff, as well as recruit and attract top talent to RVH. It really just never stops, and we have natural attrition happening all the time. In addition, RVH continues to participate in provincial strategies and programs to secure future health professionals, including future graduates through the enhanced extern program, where RVH currently has 69 externs on site, and we're posting for a significant number of additional externs in the days and weeks ahead. So we'll be doing that. We will continue to offer our part-time and casual staff the opportunity to work additional hours, including overtime as required from time to time. RVH is also exploring the extension of offers of permanent employment to some individuals in specific classifications currently working in temporary roles. And last but not least, our leadership team works very closely to review staffing levels on an ongoing basis, and will adjust and float staff where necessary to ensure that we're continuing to provide safe care. Janice, if I may, I just wanted to make one additional point. I'd just like to reinforce that while Team RVH vaccination rate is over 99%, we just cannot let our guard down with respect to PP inside our facility. While the province is continuing to relax some measures, 19,000 spectators at Leaf and Raptor games, that's out in the world outside of our walls. It's still mandatory to make sure that we wear all of our PPE at RVH, especially in patient care areas, including our masks and our eyewear. So please ensure that you're doing that. It's so important and will reduce the risk to our patients and our workforce. So thank you.
Great reminder, Daryl. Thank you so very much. And Daryl, isn't this a special week for one of the divisions that you're responsible for?
Special week for one of the divisions. Facilities week, I think, might be the particular department you're speaking of, Janice. So yes, a huge call out to that team. I was invited to a nice event at noon yesterday with the facilities team, and really shared with them and reminded them, thank you for the great work that they do. It's comforting to know that we have such a skilled team on site to support us should things, our facilities fail from time to time. So thank you.
You're welcome, Daryl. Let me add my thanks to that whole team as well. We're not really conscious of them until something happens, like, oh yes, a small fire at RVH, and having to deal with that on a Friday afternoon. And boy, yeah, Troy and Rab and their whole team were just on it and just handled so well. So it's that group is a very important member of Team RVH. So big shout out for me too. Thanks very much, guys. All right, so let's go on then to how I always like to end a town hall meeting, and that is a letter from a patient. And this is a letter from Michael. I recently underwent an angiogram at RVH. From the moment I arrived to my departure, I was treated professionally, personally, and valued. The team in the cardiac care unit are a community of exceptional professionals, quick to welcome, prepare, and deliver outstanding care. The team is collegial, cooperative, and caring. Andrea and Amanda, my two contacts and primary caregivers, took the time to make me feel welcome, comfortable, and cared for in a very personal way. I feel very fortunate to have experienced their work and that of Dr. Levi, and wanted RVH to know the great care ambassadors in that unit. Many thanks, Michael C. Many thanks to all of you. It does remind us, though, it's a very positive letter. It really does shout out all of our values, and never underestimate the impact that you have every single day. So thanks again to all of you for your commitment, your compassion, your hard work. And now we're heading into flu season, and it's a little different than last year because, as Daryl mentioned, there are many parts of our community and our society are opening up. So my request and encouragement to you is to get your flu shot. Influenza was almost non-existent last winter, but precautions are easing in our community and there's greater risk of transmission. So we're going to have a 3-week influenza immunization campaign. It begins November 1st and it runs to November 19th. Flu shots will be available in the Wellness Center for week 1 and at the atrium and staff entrances for week 2 and 3. And I'm sure the senior team will join me for our for our annual flu shot photograph as well. So let's all do our part. And once again, roll up our sleeves to keep our patients and, of course, each other safe. Thanks so much for joining me today. Please stay safe and really stay strong, Team RVH. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Great job, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm glad we had our conversation, Dave, before the town hall. I think you did an excellent job. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the notes.
And Daryl, a little surprise on the facilities piece, but they were on my mind today, so I hope you didn't mind just jumping in there impromptu.
Love it.
Okay, and Ben, as always, I think he might be gone already, but he did a great job as well. Thank you, Suzanne.
Yeah, good job, everyone. Thank you.
On to the next item. Appreciate it, Donna and Denise.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
So-
Bye.
Perfect way to wrap up the third event of the week. Ooh.
Does he not have peanut read off?
He's just an
Didn't
awkward person.
he didn't prep, so that's why he probably wanted me to put all those slides in for him. But I said we're going to you first.
It's 7 stages of Nirvana, everybody. Jesus Christ.
I'm like, do you know that the who did that to me also was remember Dave Coward?
Yeah, he loved doing that.
He was doing a speech at something, and I was at the back, and he said, I know, and even worse, he got my name wrong. He goes,
Dana.
I know Dana Donna Luck wrote these for me, but I just have to say my own thing. And I'm like at the back going, A, first of all, don't say rewrite stuff, and B, that's not my name.
That was stupid. Let's see how many people were messaging me like that.
We had 108. We had double or.
I'm surprised there's no message from Andrew Boren to make me friendlier. He usually does that.
108 people. That's more than the community listening session.
Oh, Kimberly says they like tomatoes.
That's nice.
good, it's fine.
Yeah. It's done.
You would always, I never mind that, when I was at Rogers or you watch hockey or whatever, they always talk to the players like, hey Joe, can you, on live, Joe, can you bring up that, bring up the graphic again? You're like, it just, I don't mind breaking that fourth wall.
Like, everyone could hear him saying that? Like, the whole audience?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cause I'm in his ear, and you know, like, oh, sorry, bring that up again, or whatever, you know, like, you have that, you have a clip of this? To me, it's just, it's breaking down the fourth wall. It's not,
Yeah,
it's not,
I don't care.
yeah.
But it was just
Well, the way he did it was a little abrasive, but
a little cartoony. It's
yes.
okay. It's done.
Yeah.
Now we're moving on to office cleanup and sign entering. It's fine.
I'll send you those details.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make the small one's just 2 feet by 2 feet.
Yeah.
Just keep, they're all square, so.
And you're just gonna send them to me, then we'll send them to Glenn, and we'll install it ourselves.
They can, if that was such a pain in the ass.
No, Denise knows how to do it. She'll get it for you. She did the other one.
Oh, same, okay.
Oh, sorry, I locked the door.
I locked myself out, thank you. But I did pick this up.
Oh, wait a minute.
That was fun, Denise.
Yeah.
Are we cleaning up now?
Huh?
Are we cleaning up now?
Am I what?
Are we cleaning up now?
I planned on having a break.
Okay. Jane, did you watch?
Yes. Janice seemed a little off today.
He was,
Janice seemed a little off today.
oh, Ben did not follow instructions at all. Donna, can you put that
I
down?
know.
Man.
Oh well. It's done.
Yeah. Mine's been
Joe, I've done all the changes to the website with the exception of uploading the new communication report. So once we have that, I can upload it to the website. Because I've got the new page where it says, a new category where it says, updates and reports. It goes at the top. And then, I need to link it in there. So you go to, I think it's the, let me just grab my mask. So it's gonna go above this one. Oh, yeah. So it will be above here. Yeah. So it, but we're gonna keep these because they're most relevant, so that we keep communication report October 20th. Yes, the end of October, put it there.
Are you guys grabbing some lunch before we clean?
I'm
Yep.
going down to get some Subway. My turn.
I'm hooked on that.
It's the bread.
Probably.
Maybe it'll help you get to know that Ireland is classified, Subway bread as being kings of the sugar content. Super.
I know cold cuts are very helpful, so.
Yes. Everything there.
It's not yet. Jared's
Yeah.
a piece of pizza.
Well, yeah, he's also a part predator.
I'll go down with you and
pedophile.
cash in my tickets.
Yeah, she was asking me yesterday, Donna.
Did you buy tickets without me, Joe?
I just checked mine and I lost. But she's like, where's Donna?
Did you buy any new ones?
No, I need to though.
Alright. We owe Jane $5 each.